3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, welcome to Mojave Model Railroad update number 2. Not really as much as an update as you probably are going to want compared to the first video. Couple things, wanted to give a couple quick shout outs to a few people who over the last couple weeks, the outpouring of support I've got for the channel, the views to the videos, the wonderful comments, more than I expected. Truthfully, my first video I thought I would get probably 100 views. Maybe pick up 25, 35 followers. So I think the first video is up, as with the making of this video, around 2,300 and over 300 subscribers already. I am just totally blown away. And I want to thank a few people that really helped me over the last 3 weeks. DJsTrains. DJsTrains has been really helping me, supporting me, posting on her social media, so awesome. Jennifer Kirk, if you don't know Jennifer, you probably do from the UK. She even displayed part of my video on her live show that airs Mondays. I believe it's 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 8 p.m. in the UK. Jennifer is somebody I've really inspired watching her videos and being such a strong female force in this hobby. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for sharing my video on your channel. Also, Bill Graham. Bill Graham is Who's On with Bill. You probably all know Bill. Bill has been very supportive. I've been fortunate enough to be able to be part of his live stream in the chat room a few times. And with my schedule, it's so tough. Bill has graciously asked at some point to join him on his radio program on Wednesday nights. And his show is on at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern here in the United States. So go check it out. It's Who's On with Bill. Great show. I love his interview style.
3 simple words.
You've got mail.
Woohoo!
Okay, let me get into a few questions that came in. We'll go into the mailbag here. George R. from, I think it was Instagram, sent me in this. He wanted to know how tall I was. George, I'm 5'10". The layout itself, and I know that you were really talking about, George, you want to talk about height. Actually, he wanted to know my height in regards to the layout. So the layout is actually, the deck is 44 inches off the floor, and then from that it's 16 inches high. There's 16 inches of space here for the lighting on my particular layout. Paul S. wanted to know where I purchased my products from. I purchase my products from many different companies online, whether it's eBay, I'm trying to think off the hand. There's just so many companies that I have bought products from, whether it's LED lighting, whether it's a cork roadbed, whether it's directly from like Scale Trains, for example. But more importantly, I like to support the local hobby shop here. We have a great shop called Westside Trains. John's the owner. John has always been super to me. He's a really nice guy. The guys that work there are super nice. And I always try to support local businesses when I can, because I've always owned my own local business since I was 13, and that's the way you kind of support the community, especially now with COVID. Really made it a point to go in and try to spend money with John. Larry G wanted to know about having a show on YouTube, a live show. To be honest with you, I don't know if I have the time to make that kind of commitment. It's a very tough commitment to do a 1-hour show or whatever. I applaud these people that do it, to book guests, to bring them on, and to do an hour show every single week. I do a radio show as it is, and I have to book guests for that, and I also run my own radio network, and I have to deal with over 25 live shows. So that really takes up a lot of my day. So I don't necessarily know. Maybe down the line I might consider it. So pay close attention. You never know what might come. Let's see here. What are some of the other questions? Let's see here. Mark Arnold wanted to know about doing a Photoshop tutorial. Mark, I don't know. The reason being, I have Photoshop 5.5, and I think they're up to version 20 something or whatever, I don't know, what you can buy with the app system through Adobe. Not everybody has access. I mean, Photoshop now is like $150 a year through their app just for Photoshop. So not everybody has that. I bought the whole package years ago. That's why I haven't changed for what I use it for. But at some point, you know, I might do a tutorial to show people how I do my backdrops. It would have to be in a kind of a really watered down basic graphic session. I think it would be boring, but then again, somebody might get something from it. So watch for that. Maybe I'll do something down the line. TV Toms wanted to know about JMRI, wanted to know how I use JMRI and how I use it for my Raspberry Pi doing touchscreens. And believe it or not, I just did a video. It should be up in the next few weeks. I've got to find time to edit it, where I take a Switch It 8 and I add it to JMRI and get rid of a whole switch panel and program it not just in my throttle, but as part of the touch screen, so you can actually touch the screen and change the switches. And that's something I'm working on currently with the layout. I want to be able to put touch panels across the entire layout where there are switches and get rid of all the toggle switches. So look for that too. It'll be more complicated as I get down the line and start installing more Raspberry Pis. I know I just ordered a whole nother Raspberry Pi, so I might even do a video on how to get JMRI up and running on a Raspberry Pi. DJ Rails. Questions, good or bad, I appreciate them down below. Make sure you leave a comment because I will respond to you. And he asked about not doing so many transitions in my videos. And you know what? Here's the problem. I totally agree with you to a point, because I've seen so many videos with no transitions. They just have shaky cameras, or they have one static shot and you can see where they've kind of cut from one scene to the next because the same person is standing there because they didn't like what they said in between takes. And to me, that's very frustrating and irritating. And that's just not against anything against those people, because that's kind of the norm for YouTube. But I have a degree in communications, TV, radio, broadcasting. I've worked in TV, I've worked in radio. So for me, when I see things like that, it drives me crazy. And I've got to train my brain and put that side of my brain aside in order to kind of get into the YouTube community of how things are processed here so you can get content out quicker. So, you know, bear with me as I learn the whole YouTube thing, because it's not like producing something in TV. Let's see here. I think that was all the questions. So I want to do is I'm just going to do a quick run through some of the stuff that I'm currently working on, some of the videos I'm currently working on, and the reason why it's going to take a little longer to get some content out. I'm going to try to do smaller contents in between, but you'll understand when you see the projects I'm working on in Aurora Valley. That is a huge project I'm working on as well as right next to me over here, we have Logan's Lumberyard. I've started to do scenery over here as well. It is a very complex process, which you'll see. Including even, you'll see that I've started to put skirts around my layout. Now, you know, and actually there was one other question that did come in, and I should kind of approach to this. If there's one thing I would do differently, what I do in this railroad, there's many things I would do differently. This is my learning curve, I guess you could say. This is not a permanent layout. This is not a layout that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Eventually, at some point, it'll be done. I'll sell it like I've done with some of my other layouts. This is just really the next step for me to take to master some of the skills, find stuff I like, find stuff I don't like. So when I do get my big final layout I'm going to start working on in a few years, that I'll have a much better grasp of how I want to approach it. So, you know what, let's get to the video. Enjoy. You're going to get to see some of the stuff I'm working on. And, well, there you go. Mojave Model Railroad. I'm Tina Marie Caouette. Let's get to it. Okay, these are a close-up. Let me see if I can get my hand in there so you can zoom in a little bit. So these are two LED yard lights. Now, they are pretty tall, and you can use them through on a highway setting, but they're tall enough that I'm going to use them in my yard, in Townsend Yard. So I'm going to string a bunch of these together in Townsend Yard. They're great. I've got the link for them on eBay down in the description. Make sure you come with them. They do come already in a package of, I think it's 10. Also, all rewired and all with their own resistors, so that are perfect for these lights. So I'm going to show you in just a second the circuits that I'm going to be using in order to wire these up, but those are the set of lights for that. Okay, so I wanted to give you a quick idea. So these are the lights, as I said, that I'm going to be using to use as yard lights, and I'm going to just put one down on the layout so you can see how the height is in regards to the layout. This is why I think they're going to make great yard lights for the layout. I'm looking forward. I think I picked up about 20 or 30 of these, and they're going to be going all the way down Townsend Yard east and west, and lined and basically wired up with those power distribution boards. So hopefully we'll have those up in the next couple weeks. I'll put together a video showing what they look like once they're all installed and wired up, and I'll let you know how easy they were with that power distribution. But really looking forward to putting these all throughout the layout across Townsend Yard. Townsend Yard is about 10 feet long, so there's going to be a lot of these used throughout this section of the layout. Looking forward to it. Okay, here's a close-up of the lights that I'll be putting on my roads all the way across the layout. And see there's a little LED light in there. These were purchased on eBay, and you can pick them up. The link is below. They come in a package of 10 with resistors, all pre-wired. Now the only thing I wasn't a fan of is this the little top here. Let's see if I can get it right there. That little top right there. It does come off, but there is a lot of light leakage, and I wasn't happy with that. So I'm actually picked up some liquid electrical tape, so it can kind of paint the inside lightly with a brush and kind of stop it from bleeding out with the lights. And again, those are all going to be wired on the same circuit that I'm going to show you, and that circuit is going to be used for the Townsend Yard lights as well. Okay, this is a great little distribution power thing I've picked up on eBay. I got the link in the descriptions. You can basically either plug a wall wart in there, or you can actually run it off a couple cables, not necessarily off track power, but if you have it, like I have a 12 volt DC running around the whole entire layout, you can plug it directly into there as well. You can jump a number of them through there if you want to jump them. You can plug in multiple LEDs. You have screw joints here, you have little pin sockets here as well as small pin sockets here. I think you can put 12 to 24, I think 12 to 24 depending on the voltage and stuff. You have a little pot meter here which you can dim it down, so if you want to control a bunch of lights, they're too bright for the highway and you want to dim them, you can. And then this little jumper here is great because you have two options here. You can have what they call a through. If you have it on one jumper, it's what they call through power, which means you get the pure 12 volts that are coming in. Or you can move the jumper and you get just strictly 3 volts. No matter how many voltages you put through here, it's only going to output 3 volts. Now, why is that important? Because most of the LEDs run off of 3 volts. So if you wanted to run them without resistors, you could switch it over to 3 volts. And then just plug these directly in without any resistors whatsoever, and you won't damage your LEDs. Now again, these are great, and I have them all. I'm going to be putting a lot of them across my layout to be able to control all the different lighting features on my layout. So go check out these, and again, it comes with all these little goodies as well. You can't beat the price. Really excited in using this because I'm going to also use this as my trailer park. A lot of you know that I was mimicking this after the last Starfighter, and they have a trailer park sign called Starlight, Starbright, and I'm going to create this with LEDs, and this is going to be a chasing sequence for the lettering as well. So again, these are future videos coming, a lot of little details and projects that take a lot of time to wire up, and again, these are all the links for these are in the description. These are great little circuit boards, but you can do your own circuit. And these are great because they come with the LEDs if you want to use their LEDs. I have my own I'm going to be using, kind of nano LEDs for the UFO. But they come with all the resistors you need. It comes with a little pot meter here, so you can actually slow or speed up the speed of the chase on this. These are great little circuits, very inexpensive. I picked up a bunch of these. I've got, I picked up 10 or 20 of these. I've got a bunch of projects in mind, not just for this layout, but for some modules I'm working on as well. So again, check these out. Links are in the description on eBay, and look forward to videos coming forward on how I did this and soldered this all up and wired it, especially in the UFO. But as we swing to the west to Aurora Valley, we have this little area here. Now this was going to be my Area 51 tribute, and it's something I'm currently working on. So one of the things is we have, this is Mrs. Betty's Diner. Now I'm going to actually take this diner, and it's going to be called the Little Alien Inn, and it's going to be going right in this section here. And I'm actually going to make it a little bit more modern. There's going to be a lot of LED lights with it. Again, I want this whole section to seem very futuristic, although in the real world it probably isn't. But this is going to be where the Alien Inn is going to be. Right next to it, I picked up this really great little UFO kit. It's a 1/87th scale, believe it or not. This is going to be a very intense project that I am currently working on in videoing right now. This is going to be a UFO. It's going to probably have anywhere between 40 to 60 LED lights in it. And the housing for all the electronics are going to be enclosed inside. This section here is going to be the Ufo Research Center. And I really wanted to mimic the Ufo Research Center that is out here near Rachel, Nevada, but kind of add my own twist. Now, I want to put a picture up so you see. It uses one of those, I think they're called quinset huts, military term. And I was trying to find some online, didn't like the ones I saw. A lot of the ones I saw were paper ones. I got this one here, which is like a hanger, and I was like, oh my God, this is from Innovative Hobby Supplies. And I thought, how cool is this? But then I realized it was paper, and the more I looked at it, the more it just wasn't going to work. So now I plan on using this down the line for something, I just don't know what. Maybe it might be in a diorama. We'll try that. But what this is I'm actually going to kit bash this, and we're going to use the modern yard house. And I'm doing a video on this shortly, so it's going to take some time during the build, but I'm actually going to use this as the front of the building, and I'm going to kit bash it with this. Now this is the Cornerstone Interstate Fuel and Oil. Now these buildings right here, I don't need. I'm going to save because I do have a project in mind for these. What I'm really interested in is right here. This building here. Yes, I am going to kit bash this building in with the Yard House building to kind of create the UFO Research Center that I was looking for on this layout. I'm really excited about that. Again, there's going to be a lot of different neon signs in here, a lot of flashing. It's going to be very modern looking as well. I mean, you got to have the Men in Black car. I actually have a Area 51 police car, Men in Black characters. Not sure how intense it's going to get, but again, this whole area right here is currently what I'm working on. This is a huge, huge project. It's going to take me weeks and weeks and weeks to do, but I'm really looking forward to getting in with all the different, technical aspects of the lighting, the LEDs, so that's coming soon. Well, everybody, that was Mojave Model Railroad update number 2. Not as in-depth as the first video. It might be a little longer than I really wanted to be of me talking, but at least you get an idea of some of the projects I'm currently working on. I've got, I don't know, so many things going on. I did shoot the Switch It 8 video. That will be coming out hopefully in the next couple weeks. It's all shot, just need to be edited up. And I know people have asked me to do a tutorial on my Scenic Trees, which you've seen in some of my videos, my Scenic Express trees. I have a couple different ways I do them, different than others. So I'm just waiting for some of the product to come in. I have about 150 trees that I'm going to be making, so I think I'm going to shoot some videos for that as well. It'd be a great tutorial. I can't thank all of you enough for sharing the videos, for liking the videos, for leaving comments. Please leave comments below. I will get back to you. And who knows, maybe I'll even address some of those questions live on my next video. Also, don't forget to hit that little bell notification. That bell notification will give you updates of anything new I've got coming down the line, so please do that. I am truly humbled by all the people that have reached out to me since launching this channel. I just really didn't expect it. So give me a moment while I kind of catch my breath and just thank everybody in the hobby for all their support. Truly, truly grateful. One of the other thing too is because of that, I have a website launching April 1st at mojavemodelrailroad.com. That's mojavemodelrailroad.com. And I'll put a screenshot up right now so you know what it looks like. Make sure you get to the right page. And when you go there, right now it's just a static page with a countdown, but April 1st it will launch. There will be some free downloads. There'll be some great pictures. Eventually we're going to have all kinds of different stuff up there, even some products from me. It'll take time to build a website. It doesn't happen overnight, and I'm building it myself. One of the things I'm really excited about is I want to get back to this community. I always try to do that in all the businesses I have ever run. So when you go to my website, I have on my site, it will be what they call a modeler's showcase. And I want to showcase you. I want to showcase your model railroad. And I don't care if it's N scale, I don't care if it's HO scale or Lionel or small or big. I don't care if it's just in the framework stage. Send me up to 10 pictures at contact@mojavemodelrailroad.com. That's contact@mojavemodelrailroad.com. And I want to showcase your layout. Make sure I do have your name, your railroad name, and if you do have a YouTube channel or any social media like Facebook or website, please include that along too so I can put that in that page so anybody coming to my website can find you as well. We're all in this hobby because we love it. So if I can give back, I want to give back. And you know what? Enough about me talking. Oh my God, you guys probably are sick of me by now talking, and it's only the second video in. So you know what? Let's end this video with a little run by some of the trains. I mean, we all love trains, right? That's what we're in the hobby for. Anyways, guys, my name is Tina Marie Caouette. This is Mojave Model Railroad. Inspire Realism starts here. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, everybody.